My name is Hilary Omondi. I'm a member of the Siaya County Civil Society Network by virtue of working with the Siaya Muungano Network, which is part of the Civil Society Network in Siaya. So today we are gathering here on the 21st June of the year 2023 as civil society organizations working in Siaya County, comprising of NGOs, CBOs, trusts and foundations, working from all the 6 sub-counties in Siaya counties, especially in the areas of good governance, budget advocacy, health systems, environment and climate change, agriculture and food security, youth, persons with disability, and women empowerment. So we are assembled here together to share our views and recommendations to the leadership of county government of Siaya on the state of governance, budget accountability, and service delivery in Siaya County. So we are gathering here over 30 organizations, 6 sub-counties represented. So in a span of 9 months since His Excellency the Governor for Siaya County, Honorable James Aggrey Bob Orengo, took leadership of Siaya as the second governor, among his agenda for the people of Siaya, he pledged to enhance devolution and good governance in Siaya that will ensure better services to the people. Critical components in his Nyalore manifesto included expand democratic space and always seek and respect the will of the people, and also ensure transparency and accountability in the management of public resources for the common good of all citizens. Further to this, in the address of the governor at the official opening of the Third Assembly on 11th October 2022, he promised the people of Siaya good governance, and I quote, I promise that governance, that is good governance, will be the cornerstone of my administration. Certainly, we have no choice. Good governance is a constitutional prerogative. Therefore, as Siaya CSO Network, recognizing the principles and values of good governance enshrined in our Article 10 of the Constitution as a prerequisite to provision of better services, appreciating the county government of Siaya has tried to take measures to promote good governance, people's participation, feedback, and provide better services to the people of Siaya, understanding that any other county government in Kenya, including the county government of Siaya, have to take extraordinary measures guided by the relevant articles in the Constitution of Kenya and sections, various sections of the County Government Act 2012 to ensure good governance and also promote best practices for the people's participation and provide quality services to the people. And also we are concerned that there have been instances exposing county government of Siaya not complying to the requirements of the Constitution and County Government Act, including their own legislations to ensure people's participation, access to information, and involvement in the county affairs, and in particular, the following. Reports of ongoing secret recruitment that is being done by the County Public Service Board. We have got reports including from beneficiaries that people are being called secretly to pick the appointment letters. This opaqueness in the operations of the board promotes impunity and nepotism in the employment process by the county government of Siaya and has caused loss of trust by the people. The wage bill of Siaya is currently stands as an average of 40%, which is already a danger and a burden to the people, as it jeopardizes adequate expenditure on development. So why don't we recruit where there's a need, e.g. health department that requires specialist medical officers? Two, we are keen on the opaqueness of the county government of Siaya in engaging the people in development of budget documents. A good example is an engagement of the third generation CIDP for Siaya and the budget for financial year 2023-2024. Up to now, it is not clear even of the status of third generation CIDP for Siaya. It is not clear that the county government of Siaya developed the budget for 2023-2024 based on which CIDP. The executive secretary did not engage the public effectively in the development of 2023-2024 budget. We are also keen on the relationship between the County Assembly of Siaya and the executive, the current trend and unfolding specific to issues to ensure participatory governance have been compromised but relationship between the two wings of government is here. The Assembly is getting into the roles of the executive instead of sticking into their oversight, legislation, and representation roles. This has jeopardized the ability of the County Assembly to ensure better services to the people. Example, why does, in the current budget financial year 2023-2024, which is yet to be approved, why is the Assembly allocating 189 million for development in the proposed budget, which is even more than development budget in the Department of Tourism, Culture, Sports and Arts, which has 179 million, and almost equals to development allocation in the Department of Education, Youth Affairs, Gender and Social Services, which has allocation of 207 million. And also, we are keen on engagement of MCAs in determination of projects at the ward level, identification of contractors, and then their threatening nature of people in Siaya with the aspect of impeachment when you want to do the right thing. Poor access to information in the county governments here. Example, access to budget documents is a menace in Siaya, right from the executive to the assembly, which has made the public sometimes not involved even in the process and even implementation. These gaps has limited in people's engagement in Siaya, and also we are keen on the availability of implementation reports that should be availed to the public through various platforms like the website and also the ward offices for the public to engage and also hold government accountable based on those reports. In terms of access to government procurement opportunities in Siaya, especially for persons with disability, the youth and women, the spirit is lost in the county. Those opportunities are held by duty bearers in the county, denying access to the relevant beneficiaries. For those who have struggled to access the opportunities, the payment process is frustrating, and this one sends away young people, women, and persons with disability from doing government with for doing business with the county government of Siaya. County government of Siaya has also focused on assistive devices, in bracket, mobility aids, as a way to support persons with disability in almost all the financial years. We appreciate, but now, how does this improve the lives of persons with disability? PWDs are left out in employment opportunities, which is a requirement that the county government should also observe that. In terms of data management system, Siaya has failed data-informed decisions and planning. Example, the county government has no data even for young people, for persons with disability, and for youth. So how do they plan for these kind of groups? So in terms of allocating money, we are keen on how the department has been allocating block money for youth empowerment, for women empowerment, and also PW empowerment without specific programs. The question is, how is this effective and how can this be monitored? The government has not finalized the youth policy, the PW policy, and issue policy that also policy that guides women empowerment. I'll leave it to my colleague to pick it from there. Thank you.
Thank you, Hilary. My name is Vincent Obondo, part of the Siaya County Civil Society Network. I think continuing from where Hilary has left, we are also having issues with public participation. Currently, you are aware that there are public engagement on budget financial year 2023, year 2024, where you realize that the county assembly has planned 2 hours public engagement in each ward, which I think is not really very right. If you compare what the Nyalore manifesto did promise, he really indicated during campaigns that he should be able to really do this up to the village level. What we are seeing is different from that. So the question is, how is this effective to the people of Siaya? The executive in first place has failed to engage the people in budget development. The county government of Siaya is not complying with the available legislations and laws guiding public participation. Engagement, therefore, should start at the sector level, and this should include stakeholders scaling down to ward and village levels. The other issue, I think, is recruitment of ECD teachers. We are aware that there are already existing ECD teachers that were employed by the county, I think, on contractual basis. So it is important, what we are asking is, what is the fate of those who have been working on contract basis? because there are plans to recruit 50 new ECD teachers on permanent and pensionable basis. Are the current ECD teachers who have worked on contract basis and have the adequate experience be considered, or are they going to be just thrown away? The other issue is the construction of stadium in the county. What is the fate of the Siaya County Stadium, which was started by the previous regime? What is its status? Then the other issue is also health financing. I think it was mentioned that there are several gaps in the Department of Health. The county government of Siaya is performing dismally in giving priority to financing health components that are critical to the people of Siaya in the health sector. The example we have is the shortage of even essential drugs, shortage of equipment in most health facilities in the county, and healthcare workers in our major facilities in Siaya, and this includes financing reproductive health services and commodities such as family planning commodities. As Siaya County Civil Society Network, we therefore expect the county government of Siaya to take all the necessary measures within the confines of our governance and legal frameworks to upholding good governance, public resources accountability, budget compliance, and ensure better services to the people of Siaya. Integrity, openness, discipline, and vigilance will see the people of Siaya through to access better services and engagement with the county government and broadly realize the Nyalore manifesto. Siaya civil society organizations will continue to execute its role in enhancing transparency and accountability in the processes in Siaya and use of resources in dispensing services to the people of Siaya. Thank you.
If you look at the current budget that is ending 30th of June 2023 rather, the Siaya County Assembly has run amok. They are implementing projects in the wards. For example, the same financial year that's ending, Siaya County Government Assembly has spent 160 million in constructing ward offices. That should be the role of the executive. Again, Siaya County Government Assembly has spent a whooping 125 million in geoplanning for water and drilling boreholes. That's the role of the executive. Again, if you look at it, they have spent 154 million in constructing ward community forums, halls meetings. Is that the role of the MCS? Is that the role of the assembly? And if you look at what is also they are putting in the budget now, 185 million for development. Look at sports. Look at education, which has a lot of ECD, has a lot of infrastructure. They are almost equal to education. Does it mean that the assembly is no longer doing oversight? Does it mean the assembly has stopped doing legislation? Why are they doing the role of the executive? This is where the rubber meets the road. Because if they take the role of the executive, who will do the oversight? Who will make sure the quality of workmanship is done as per required? So as the resident of Siaya, I say the weaker link with devolution is with the assembly. So the resident of Siaya need to refocus and need to rethink whether they want their life to improve or not. But before they look at the assembly, because all the executive people who want to deliver for Siaya, if you raise the right thing, you'll be told we'll impeach you. We'll go to, so how do you live as a technocrat? If you raise a serious issue, you'll be impeached. You'll be impeached. So I think the residents of Siaya need to come out of their senses and engage with the assembly. Assembly must release money for devolution to go and make our roads, to go and, if the money that assembly is getting for infrastructure, that money can go to employing enough ECD teachers, for our teachers, for our ECDs. It is enough to do a feeding program for our children. If you look at this budget, they say they're going to plant trees in various primary schools, which are teaching schools. There is no budget as Minister. Yeah, there were the voices, even voices, the CVAs. How can it also be re-energized to bring that energy back? To provide personal represent people, and do oversight. If they take over tenders, they exercise their powers. Assembly is wrong, by the way. They determine everything. Then where are we going? Then I think what has emerged is that we are not feeling, the budget is not ours. And you are a lucky young boy.